What's happening, guys? Michael and Mike, thanks for popping in. Two of my down dirty tricksters. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Thursday. No, not Thursday. It's Friday. Weeks are all messed up when I go on the road. Welcome to a Friday edition, another Friday edition. We've done quite a bit of those this summer between weather and work conditions. But yeah, yesterday I was on site, so I had to paint that big earbuds thing for an upcoming event. And I was on site for 2 days, so yeah, that was not able to get back to the studio in time to prep for the live feed, so that's why I moved it to Friday. So let's make sure we got good sound. Looks like we got good sound and picture going. Everyone seems to be good. Thank you, Michael, for that information. Steve McGrady, what's going on? My mom, hi mom, over on Facebook, love ya. Dusty Art, what's going on? Cool. I want to thank everyone for popping in. Let's see. Well, I got a lot more delay on. Oh, it's not delay. My YouTube is like looping. I'm gonna restart my YouTube so I can see you guys. I think that should be better. Maybe not. Let's close that out. There we go, live. We'll go back out. That's always fun. I want to get my comments someone within when you guys are actually talking about it. And then we'll get this little shindig started. There we go. That's better. That should be right. Awesome. All right. Might be a little delayed. 5x5 there. Good. Yeah, I look at 3 screens. And I'm a little out of focus now. I'll fix that. Oh. There we go. Let me check that out. Javier, what's going on? Cool. Let's just get everything squared and we're good. All right, let's bring up what we're doing. Smash that like button. Exactly. Smash that like button. Don't forget to get subscribed. You know, for you guys who don't know, subscribing is just you're just part of the team. You know, there's no cost involved. It's like putting me on your favorites list. And then if you want to subscribe notifications, you get notified when I go live. Then the next tier up is membership. Membership, if you join, it's $2.99 a month. That gives you a whole host of things, including your little you notice people in green. Everyone in green is a member, and they'll get their little skulls depending on how many months they are. Everyone's the same because everyone just started. And we got some special icons and things like that. You get 10% off both of my stores, my merch store and my Vector Download store as a member. You also get, now, for the first time, this project file for members is free. Okay, the one I'm doing tonight, the Vector Download, which is normally $10. It's a very small file, so it's a $10 download for you guys who aren't members. But for anyone who is a member, you'll get another code to use on the store, and this one for you guys only is free to the first 100 users. So the first 100 people to use that code, which will only be members, get this file download project for free. All right, so basically you spend $3 for the month, you get a $10 download. Okay, so you get a free download and a bunch of other discounts and stuff like that. So it's a win-win for everyone, and it's a good thank you to me. So enough of that pitch. And with that, I will have to say, these are all my awesome members who are taking care of us and helping make this happen. So thank you to all you guys. Big shout out to you. Thank you very much. Who we got? Kevin McCauley. Hi, Kevin. Kevin Krell. Javier. Danielle. Hugo. Hey, how you doing, Danielle? Jeff. My mom might still be on. And we got a bunch of you over here on YouTube. Thank you for popping in on a Friday night. Let me show you what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I looked for the magazine. I have a stack of all the magazines I did back in the day, and I couldn't find it. So this file right here, this Sparrow, which is like a tattoo style Sparrow, very common in tattoo culture, like Ed Hardy, old school tattoos. This is, I think, the second, or it's either the second or third article I ever did for Airbrush Action Magazine. I did other magazines prior. This was the second one I did for Airbrush Action Magazine. I believe it's the second. It was really cool. It was actually done on a carbon fiber dragon boat paddle, which was unique. So you can see the carbon fiber through. It was all done. It was all house color and candies. And it was a full step-by-step how-to that ran through, like how to take the sketch, how to vector it. At that time I was using FlexiSign. FlexiSign. Walk you through that, and then how to do the whole paint process. So now I'm going to do, this is going to be a video how-to of that same vector file. So it's cool. So you guys have the old issue of the magazine. This is kind of a live version of it, and it's a way to just, some of my old stuff I did so long ago is still relevant today. So bringing these back in video format's really good. And I am going to start this season, this winter. I'm going to start, these are going to be recorded. I'm not going to do these live. I'm going to re-record the entire Plotter Mastery program that I did, that whole DVD series, plus a bunch of other files. And what that's going to do is, once I start that, I'll make an announcement. That'll release probably a month ahead of time to 2 months ahead of time for members only. So members only will be able to get that video how-to. Then eventually it'll come out for everyone. And I might do it some as a Q&A and things like that for members only. So I got some stuff planned for that, but I really want to re-record Plotter Mastery since it's completely out of print. It doesn't exist anymore. I have one copy. And with Airbrush Action, where it ended up and who owns what rights to what, it's so confusing. I don't even want to get into trying to reproducing them. So, because I never had, the rights were to theirs. So I'm going to do a new version of all those lessons, bring it up to date to Adobe Illustrator, what we're doing now in plotters and newer masking and some newer techniques. So it'll be basically what we did there, it'll be redone in a modern setting. So that is all planned. Let's talk about what we got here. Let me bring up the image you can see right here. Okay, this is it's already been cut. I cut this on FBS blue mask. Okay, and this is on an aluminum panel. Whoa, I just taped a few magnets to the back, and so I'm keeping it from sliding around. But this is an aluminum panel, and it's a black panel, so it's black base underneath. So we're gonna do the fire. We're gonna do the Sparrow, and then have some bluish green, kind of teal fire going off there. And obviously, we're gonna be using the waters. The original how-to was done in. The original was done in House of Color. And back then, House of Color candies were it. That was the best. PBG made some good ones from other companies, but everything I did back then was done in House of Color. So this is a newer version that's going to be done in Creatix, Candy 2.0, and a mix of other stuff. And we have our first thank you, shout out to Honey, who's also one of the first members of Down Dirty Tricks. Thank you. Much appreciated. Hey Warlock, how you doing? Let's see what else we got. So that's what we're going there. Let's talk about the paint we got. This is a paint list. This is a bigger paint list than normal. I may not use all the colors, but I'll tell you what I got going on here. So let's see. So my normal 4-to-1 mix here, which is always my preferred mix. Especially when it's humid like this. It's really humid lately. We've had a heat wave up here. It's been in the upper 90s. In September, it was cold all July, but now we're in the 90s. That 40-20 is going to be, help kick it over. This is Wicked Opaque. The Wicked Opaque blue. I'm going to use this and the white. When I did the original article, all the detail starting was done in white. I'm going to do it probably with the opaque blue now. Same with the fire, and then mix in the white. Cerulean blue, illustration blue here, the 50-60. This is semi-transparent. So like a candy, but it'll cover a little faster. So that's going to be my detail color. For my green, you could use poison green, or I like sometimes the mix of an emerald green and lemon yellow together, or poison green and emerald green together. I may use the green in the fire and maybe a little bit in the belly of the Sparrow. Teal, deep purple, and black candies. So all these are kind of going to be overlays with the blue. So basically I'm using the blues as my main colors, and then I'm going to be tinting with candies of that sort in the fire and things like that. So that's what I got for colors. So you guys followed along with this. That's a color list I stuck with, but you don't have to use these colors. What I recommend is using your white and maybe whatever family of colors you want as like an opaque color and a semi-transparent of that same color family. So this is a blue, opaque blue light, which you have coverage. This is my darker tinting blue. And then have corresponding candies in the same family. So this is all cool colors. I get a little warm into the yellow, but it's mixed with the green, so I'm kind of all in that cool family. You know, if you're going warm colors, you'll warm colors. So you don't have to do this exactly the way it is. Let's see. We got a couple questions here before I get started. Hey, Walter, George, what's going on, buddy? George and Kim, sorry. And what do you got? Where do I go to sign up for Down Dirty Tricksters? Oh yeah, so we're all like answer to sign up. Below the chat, you will see the box with the money symbol. Click that, there's membership. It's basically the same area where you'd subscribe. Sometimes on a phone it works a little weird, but you can do it after the fact as well. So the link to the download is right here, which is MckayFineArt.com, and once you're a member, you'll get the code for that. YouTube makes, like when I do those extra codes, I've already done it and put it up there, but they review it before they send it to you guys live in the membership. So if you don't have it yet and you want to get downloaded quick, just give me email at scott@thinairgraphics.com, or if you're on my Facebook page, just message me on Facebook. I'll give you the code directly. I know who's members and who isn't. But yeah, YouTube, anytime I add a perk, YouTube verifies it's a legitimate perk. So just so you guys know. Okay, see. Yeah, it's the same place where you subscribe. It depends. I don't know if you're on a phone or computer, but like when you where it would say subscribe, next to it will be join. So there's a few different options for it, but you don't have to stress about it. You can do it after the fact as well. Sometimes it's harder to do it during the feed. All right, so we have our file here. It's already been plotted on FBS Blue Mask. Okay, the blue mask is right here. This is what I prefer to use most times when I'm doing curve surface and things like that. I prefer the blue. When I'm doing overlay, I like the green. And then you have, obviously, the FBS Gold, which would work for this as well. But if you want to use Avery and other masking, it doesn't matter. It's the same process. Okay, it doesn't have to be FBS. It's just my preferred. What I've also done is I've done a printout, which, as you can see, is actually 1-to-1 scale. So I print it the same as the plot size, so everything lines up. And I have this kind of as a loose stencil in case I need it. All right. Go from there. So my colors I have mixed up right here. I need to add like a palette cam. I love how Steve Leahy has the palette cam. So I'm going to add another camera just for the palette, or like where I have my colors mixed up, which is right here to the left of me. As you can kind of see off camera, they're right here. And we're going to start. I'm going to see how the coverage is. Make sure we get good coverage with this blue. This color is daylight blue right here. This wicked, the wicked opaque daylight blue covers really well. So what I want to look for is this: I want to just build a tone of how I did this original file. So when we all know when I work on a light colored background, I go from bottom to top and I work my way up. so that way I create natural drop shadows. When I'm going this way, it's like when I'm doing the skull, I work from top down. So I have to look for pretty much what's on top. In this case here, it's going to be the wing here, and then this wing, and then I'll probably come down to the body before that I'll do the eyes, and I'll work my way through it, okay? The more you do files like this, you kind of find your way around it, and if you make a mistake, it's easy enough to go back. So I'm just going to pull the wing right here, and I'm going to start to shade this. Oh, shoot. Did I think I overdo? Oh, you know what? That was my micron, and I meant to put this in my eclipse so it can be thicker. I'll fix that, not to worry. It's live, what could go wrong? Well, subscribe to the channel. SRM is just subscribing like any other YouTube channel, but there should be something to the left or right of it that says join. Or membership or something like that. Alright, there we go. So when I first did this, I did this all in white, then tinted everything blue. Yeah, a lot of times I think when you hit subscribe, you might get the join option. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to give it an easy highlight right up the middle. I wish, you know what I need to find? And unfortunately, Crystal's not here. I wonder if I can go to a browser, just post a link. There's usually a link. So if you want to do this, if you have two airbrushes, you can do it this way, where you can preempt and put like a highlight in the middle of it. So you don't really need to do that, especially if you only have one airbrush. Let me see if I can find a join, and I'll just post a link to the channel. But you don't really. Yeah, on a computer, it's right next to subscribe. This is why it's nice to have Kaylee here. If you go to the main page, SRM, you'll it's just the main page itself. There's a join right there, right at the top of the screen. It says join, and it's right there next to subscribe. Unless you're on your phone. If you're on your phone, you probably won't be able to do it. All right, now Kaylee is good. Kaylee is now starting school, and so she had volleyball. And so they had a game a few towns away, so she's getting picked up very soon by Crystal. And yeah, So we're going to be juggling that as well. Next part I pull off is the wing. So you can do this a couple different ways. You could cut each wing individually, you could just do it freehand, or you could grab like one of these guys and just find a corresponding curve. I've always loved these. This is the FH1. The FH1 is one of the original shields. And so I can do that, kind of give it an easy separation. And now I don't have to do a separate cut file. I can just go in and I kind of find a curve. Like, I love the way it kind of hits right here. You can see what I'm doing. Let me go, how about this? Side by side. So you can see how I'm finding this curve is coming up and back in. Gotta love loose shields. And I'm just moving it to the shape of the wing. And getting that nice separation. See, as opposed to, I could have made this confusing cut file that had all these in here. But sometimes the KISS method is more appropriate. Pocket Graphics would be using it too, and I wanted something a little bit longer, that's why I used the FH. Pocket Graphics, we're definitely going to be bringing these bad boys into this one as well. Hello, Brother Todd. I'm gonna take my white, and I'm just gonna softly hit freehand each feather. And if I want that blue to be a little brighter, you could use the white first, because the opaque white covers really good. Then we can get that blue to cover like that, like super cover. Alright. Now, it is pouring again. Man, we had a thunderstorm, lightning, everything so ridiculous earlier. It just opened up for about maybe 45 minutes and just dumped a couple inches of rain and thunder lightning like crazy. So I'm going to put the eye in here. I'm actually going to do the white first on that one, and then the blue. It'll be a brighter coverage. Hey Jeff, what's going on? But yeah, for those of you who remember this, man, I wish I couldn't find my binder with all the magazines I was in. But that one had this article, which, yeah, like I said, I think this is my second article that I did. Not a separate article ever, a separate article I did for Airbrush Action Magazoen. So, dude, if my iPad decides to update right now in the middle of this, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just so you know. All right, so do that. I am going to do the beak. So I'm going to do the top one first. And then the bottom. This design is easy enough. My iPad just started over. It's alright. I'll miss your comments for a couple minutes, but I'll be back on in a second. Maybe I'll grab my phone so I can see. Great update time, iPad. I don't have automatic updates for a reason.
This blast of...
I love technology, especially, this always happens when I'm on my own.
Why do you have to give them hormones?
Library live. Comments. Look, now I can see your comments. See? Now I can see what I see. Good. Alright, so now I can see your comments since my iPad. Grab the bed. Hey Jeff, what's going on? Welcome back over here. Alright, so we got that, we got the eye, we got the wing. Now we're going to go to the main body. I want to thank a few of you guys earlier for checking in when I did my impromptu. Oh, you know what I want to do? Sorry, I want to do this belly. I want this belly to be brighter because I'm going to do this with pretty much white and leave it. So I want those done. You can save these and put them back too, but I've done paper cuts so I don't have to worry about it as much. But like if I wanted to like use this edge to not get white there, it's easy enough to just put that back in like that. Just boom. You can hit that like this. This is my favorite pocket graphic. Yes, Pyro is my favorite one. Now we'll use this guy. We'll just use the big one. And lift the belly. Oh, wow, looking in the wrong spot. Got plenty of desk space, man. It's just computer space sometimes. I get tech doing what it wants to do when it wants to do it. Terrence, what's going on, brother? Alright, so the main body. Now, if you're not too confident in your freehand, it's easy enough to either take the paper cut and like put, just cut the wing out and use it. Remember, this is really an underpainting, so a lot of the stuff is going to come in freehand. A little overspray mist is not going to be a problem because you're still going to see your tone. Yeah, we've been 93 plus every day for the past week. And I was painting those big things in the warehouse without a spray booth. That was really fun. I get it. So sometimes nighttime paintings, what you gotta do. And like, here's a great use for, I want to do like an eyebrow that's not part of the design that was like plotted in. So watch, I'm just gonna find. This is my pocket Pyro. I'm using the curve. I'm going to line up to the eye like this. Find a little curve, now watch. And see, just give it that eyebrow. Now he looks a little mean. Come under here. And just mix that in. Okay, we already got that nice shape on everything. I love the little purple skulls next to Honey and everyone. I think the purple skulls is month 2 or something. Yeah. Yeah, gray is, London Paint is newer, so he's got the gray. And the second one, the people who've been here long, got the purple skulls. Yeah. So that's what those markings is going to be. Don't forget, you guys get your own set of emojis you can use. Oh, the pocket pyro, I'll use it with, yep. And that's kind of what it was. When I originally did pocket graphics, it was to aid in what was already out there as far as big stencils. So right now, I think we're still at 27 or 28 members officially. And for the first 100 members, they're going to get this file download for free. So the first 100 members that use this file, you get this for free on my e-store. Yep, and basically, so I made, there was a big rivet one, but you didn't always want to handle this huge stencil. So I made pocket graphics to kind of coexist with what was already in the marketplace and just make it easier to use. Yeah, my goal, Gary, is to get 100 members by the end of the year. And 100 members and 10,000 subscribers. The 100 members will probably be harder to get. But we'll see. I'm going to pull the wing. Actually, I'm going to pull the wing and I can pull these tail feathers. Now, FYI, we still do have active storm weather in the area. There has been a lot of trees down in this town and neighboring, so if anything happens, I will let you know and we can continue on. Giant air bars, I thought I was the only one that got those. Oh man, no chaotic, I get some weird requests. Month before I did a headboard and footboard and bed frame to look like Jack's sausage links. That was a funny one. So what I'm going to do is just hit a little highlight. I want to make these tips really white. Yeah, the new pocket graphics, the original ones are great. You have some things that aren't in the new ones, and the new ones are all refurbished. It has a bunch of new stuff in it. And I still kept the price point really low. They're $18.95. Some places at Amazon are charging a lot more. But that's Amazon for you. We don't have any control over that. Alright, so now I'm going to do these. So look, I'm just going to find a curve that works. But I want to have that same flop I did here. So I'm going to go to this side. And just kind of rotate it to where I like it. This is almost the same technique I use when I'm doing eagle feathers. Hey, my iPad came back. That takes the cake. Yeah, that was a weird request. Even they called me like, I'm not sure you're going to be able to do this, but can you make a bed frame look like sausage links? I'm like, give it a shot. I'm always up for a challenge. Still my best painting for this ever. The best call I get was, can you paint a Tyrannosaurus Rex? The actual bones of the Tyrannosaurus Rex? The actual fossil? Why, yes, I can. That's still the coolest one. I'm pretty confident I will be one of the only to ever do it, or very few to ever do it. Who do we got over on Facebook side who's still on? We got Esther. Hi, Auntie Esther. Hope you're still there. Hope things are well up north. Spotlight Artistry. Hope things are good down south, down in the Carolinas, and hope you're enjoying it down there. James Collier, Russ Gerner. Russ, buddy, we're going to be out there soon, man. We're going to be living it up down Fremont Street. Actually, while I got everyone on here, let's talk about upcoming shows. Gary, what's going on? We have the SEMA show coming up. SEMA is the Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association show in Las Vegas. That's every year, except for the 1 year COVID. But this year is going to be the first year I'm calling it. I figure we're going to be back to full capacity, back to full normal. Yeah, man, Russ, you get a big hug, don't worry. Every year we do, let's put my face up here. So every year at SEMA for, man, well over a decade now, we have done the Hogs and Heifers unofficial SEMA kickoff party, which coincides with the Freaks of Nature and Shannon show, which is the Mini Truck and Hall of Fame inductee, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And we do a benefit. We do, all of us painters have been painting for years, doing live paintings and auctioning those off for the Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation. So that's something we've all been a part of for years, and I'm really looking forward to getting that back in action. Gary Gregory, funny you should mention SEMA. I got a question about that. Ask away, man, or give me a buzz later. So yeah, and so this year we're going to be doing a little bit different. All painters who are going to paint are asked to bring a painting done for auction. So that way there's really well done pieces for people to auction to really raise some good money, and that's what it's all about. And then we'll also paint live and paint and auction off those paintings will be available for auction as well. So that's Monday night at SEMA, which is going to be the 30th, which is the day before Halloween. If you've never been to Vegas on Halloween, I highly recommend it because it's absurd. This is someone who came growing up from downtown, one town over from downtown Salem, Massachusetts, which is the Halloween mecca of the world. And I would say the only thing close to rivaling Salem, Massachusetts, the town, is Fremont Street, Las Vegas. It's pretty darn close. So, and lots of good friends down there like Russ. Gerald Mendez over on Facebook. What's going on, brother? Just popped in. And we're doing no green. All blues tonight, buddy. All blues. And some white. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. You notice my voice is back a little better. I haven't coughed every 30 seconds. Still a little bit back there, but not too bad. Yeah, you have to make it out there one year, Jeff. Telling you, your first year, go as a spectator. Best thing I ever did. The stress of bringing vehicles out, oh my god. Especially your first year. The logistics are not, and Russ Gerda will attest to this, the logistics of SEMA, of moving cars in and out, moving objects in and out, is astronomically way more difficult and a problem than any other type of car show. It's absurd. SEMA is just its own animal. It's Golandrina? I don't know what you're asking, Gerald. If you're asking about this, for me, it's a Sparrow. I'm kind of giving it that old school kind of tattoo style look, similar to my koi, like the Chinese dragon. It's got that kind of flair, what you would see like an old Ed Hardy tattoo. But I'm keeping him very simple because I'm going to be adding some blue realistic fire around this guy. So I don't want to overdo it. I want to just get to this stage. I am going to do a little bit of the blue. Oh, so someone, one of the down and dirty tricksters, you just download the Sparrow Tattoo for free. So the link's working, I take it. Damn, what's going on, man? Robert Meehan. Thank you for the download. I appreciate it. Yep. Start lining up sponsors now for SEMA. Because it's not like a car show where you can put it in the show, but that's just kind of the outdoor. They just kind of park you wherever. But if you want to be like on the main show, you got to get a sponsor to put it in their booth, because you can't put a booth in the show yourself. Not the way SEMA works. But again, first year SEMA, I wouldn't put a car in. I would go and experience it first. But that's just me. Why isn't the Sparrow? Sparrows don't carry coconuts, Gary Gregory. That's a swallow. An African or European, but neither one of them are sparrows. Come on, Gary. Gary. If you're gonna do a Monty Python thing, you gotta get it right. Oh boy, what am I gonna do with you? Try not to dirty 30 airbrushes tonight. I really don't want to do that. I want to take my blue one here. I'm going to give it a quick squirt rinse. Basically, when I do midstream, I just do a quick flush. Here, Todd, what's going on, brother? Thanks for popping in. But yeah, very much looking forward to SEMA. It was a great time. See, Jeff, what you should do, and this is how I built my show car more effectively. You go to SEMA and you talk to the current people this year about your car, what you got planned for it. And most likely, they'll just start giving you stuff for the car that you may need as a small sponsorship. But that's how you get them to come in. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. Personally, after what happened to that last motorcycle I brought into SEMA, I could care less about putting another car in that show. After what Freeman did to it and denied they damaged the motorcycle. Yeah, that was fun. Got some stories about that one. Alright, before I get into the fire itself, I want to just carve out some details. And you can replot and just put stuff back on. I'm not going to do that. Because I have the paper and the printouts like you see here based on the reference. I can just do a quick cut. And now I have a nice little paper stencil. See, that matches perfectly. That's the nice part about when you plot and print. The bike came in, the crate was half destroyed. The bike was in about 30 pieces, and they denied that anything happened. Obviously, UPS didn't do anything as far as they said. and the way they picked it up. And basically what we came to the agreement is they, thanks, Jeff, yeah. What happened was they flipped the crate over and denied it. Well, we knew they flipped the crate over because the eye bolts that were holding the bike down were pointing straight instead of looped. So yeah, and then they denied it. Luckily, House of Color stuck behind it because it was in the House of Color booth. And they are the ones that helped bring it out and facilitate it. So House of Color helped out a lot, making sure everything got fixed and did what they could to be a part of it. And then I took care of it. So the bike ended up getting redone. But yeah, those movers, yeah. Thank you, Todd. You joined. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Down Dirty Trickster family. You can now download this for free. Are you doing any filming? Wish list here at SEMA this year. So, I'm in a bunch of different booths. So, I'll be doing Iwata, of course. So, I'll be there every day. I'll be at FBS doing demos. I'll be at Truler's. And then House of Color should be doing a booth as well. This year, I believe they're coming back to the show. And if they do a demo booth, I should be over there as well. So as usual, I'll be all over the show. Many different booths. Which is great. So see, will be fun. We'll be back to our full dance card. Well, you know, if you do Riddler, you can't post any pictures of that car whatsoever, anywhere. In Riddler, you usually have to, it has to be set and applied for prior, I believe, but it cannot be photographed or any show prior to that, if I remember the rules correctly. A buddy of mine is one of the judges of the Riddler. He's judged it a couple times. One of the co-judges. If I remember right, that is the thing. So you can't post it online or any other magazine. It has to be unseen. Like I say, unless they've changed up the rules. Would you do a rebel flag? Right, we could talk about it, yeah. Like one of the skulls I've already done. It's an option. Usually when it comes to that type of thing, it depends on the reason. I was a fan of Dukes of Hazzard, so... in that context, I'm good. Alright, so I'm going to bring in the teals and stuff later. Alright, so now we can pull the background. And the one thing a lot of people forget about Riddler, and there was a whole debate years ago because of that Cadillac where the paint didn't quite match on panel to panel. Paint is only 1 or 2 scores on the whole sheet of like 50 things. So the paint's one thing, it's everything else. That's why that Cadillac won. Either the paint wasn't perfect, everything else was. Jonathan, I got some plans to do some lowrider stuff. Actually, we're going to be doing some at the SEMA show. So leading up to the SEMA show, I might do blah 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 blah. Leading up to the SEMA show, I might do some demos here, and that's going to kind of show what we're going to be doing at SEMA. So definitely got some plans for that. I got a few things that I'm working on right now that are lowrider-esque that I'm going to plan on bringing out. Cool. So that's basically the bird. You know, from here you can detail it however you want. And do what you want with it as far as you can do anything. I'm going to do fire at this point. Is that black background paint? Okay. No, this is just a black aluminum panel. Okay. So these are the polymetal panels. You can typically get them in white and black. This was a black panel. So all you do is take the plastic off and give her a scuff. And this is all being done in Createx water-based. So if I was to do this to make it easier, I would have just done it with black sealer. Oh yeah, no, I got it right here. Look at that nice golden brown color. All right. Fire, 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 fire. What is the rule of fire? What was Mike LaValle's best rule phrase that he coined and trying to put out there in the world that makes fire easy to remember what to do? Well, who's got it? Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, if you guys want to see stuff like that, just let me know. You guys who are members in the group, we have the community page where you guys can message me directly or have conversations in there. Cool, Jeff, thanks. We'll move on. Dark to light, loose to tight. Exactly. That was the... well, Gary beat Gary to it. Yeah, loose to tight, dark to light. Yep. Free flow and loose. He was. Oh, Russ, yeah, that bar is done. Virgin is horrible. Yeah, I know Hard Rock's building a new hotel, but we've been doing, past couple years, we've been using the central bar or the offshoot bars at Resort World, which is where a lot of us are staying, so we've been over there doing it. But we got the Circle Bar at the Westgate as well, Hilton, for SEMA, to get together. Okay, now this is where some people get confused when Mike would say dark to light. Now, I'm going to start with my darker blue as far as the fire goes, but I'm going to put a lighter blue or a white down first so that coverage comes faster. The goal is you're not necessarily using dark color, darker, lighter. You're getting the darker fire down first. So in traditional fire, you'd be doing the reds, those deep reds and purples, and you're getting that down there. And sometimes you put orange down first. He'll put orange down first, and then put red candy over it. Then he'll put orange with orange candy. And then he'll put yellow with orange candy, and then yellow with yellow candy, and so on and so forth. Cool. Jeff, let's move on away from your car so I can focus on the project. I can't read that much at the same time. But good luck with it. So, that being said, let's start with the darker blue. But to do that, you know what I'm going to do to make it easy? Because I got my darker blue already in the brush here. As opposed to doing my opaque blue, Michelle! Yeah, I've done smoke as well. You know, smoky fire or just smoke. Yeah, we can do that in the feed. So let's talk about fire. Alright, so when you're doing smoke, just when I do smoke, I kind of do this. When I do my loose, I'll keep my flow kind of going like this. I'm going to zoom this camera out so you can see the whole panel. And we'll zoom this guy out here. And maybe we'll try to go side by side. There we go. That's a little better. And let's move this one down. Yeah, give me a second. I'm going to try to fix this side camera. Let's see if I can get a better angle of that. I can move it. I can't really zoom in. Oh, there we go. I'll go a little further on that. I'll go a little further on here so you're not. Yeah, that works. And maybe I can scoot him over. That's the y-axis. X-axis. Size. Yeah, this is all. I'm trying to do this all live. No pressure. There we go. How's that? That's a cool side-by-side, right? Now we'll refocus that up. There we go. Oh, you always do prepare a special project, man. Always looking forward to what you pull off. Okay, so like I was saying, when I do fire, if I'm doing smoke, I do a lot of movements left to right and let the wind take it. Then when I'm using a stencil, I try to use like the directional going this way and then kind of going back this way, so you get a more back and forth. Fire, I try to come a little rougher, like this. And I'm doing more kind of snap movements. And then I'm going to curve over and kind of go like this. It's a little smoky. But I just try to plan a little more random rough movement for fire versus smoke. And then when I take a stencil like this, and I don't use it too much here, I'm keeping a more upwards direction, so the fire's really trying to move faster. Whereas smoke, you want to kind of weave and move more slow. Fire, you want a little bit more aggressive, so you want it to be faster. So see what I mean? It's going to kind of come up and snap. These ones always work great. Before LaValle's original set, this was my kind of go-to set, was this one here. And remember, don't do too much stenciling. Keep it really loose. Okay? You don't want too much of this hard detail at this level. This should be super, super soft, because this is the underside of the fire. This is level 1, basically. Okay? So you don't want to have a lot going on here. Yeah, Jerry, I always look forward to what you do in it. And then I realize I have to paint next to you half the time. And I prepared simple stuff, and you got a grand you know, epic Mickey going on, and you know, I must say I get a little jealous sometimes. But it's always auditor paint next year. It's always fun. It's always cool. But so you notice this, you know, it just, you keep it soft. By keeping it soft, you don't have to worry if you don't like what's happening, because you can really get, you can get a lot out of it. Oops. See, like right there? Big mistake. Not a big mistake, because I'm just gonna, let me see, cancel it out. It'll be gone. And it'll just become part of the background fire at that point. Now the other thing that Mike did was what I just did there. And this is the trick. Okay, let's talk about this. You almost need no reducer with this. When you're doing solvent, you can reduce. When you're doing water-based, the Wicked Opaque works great for this. But you almost use it straight with no reducer, because you want a big, you want some heavier flood strokes. And this was a key to Mike's, not key to Mike's fire, but it was a key to Mike's style, and a lot of us have adopted it. So watch. See that stroke? It's almost pushing it out away from the center. So it's like a dagger stroke, but it's what's called a flood stroke. So you want it really, you want it more of a heavy body paint. And see how I let the air pressure push that aside? I'm just about to blow out right there, okay? It's a little trickier to do with water base. So you gotta move a little faster, but you can do it, okay? Uh-oh. We have foreign language speak. Talk amongst yourselves. Honey, you gonna try to get passes? You gonna try to register and come to SEMA? So now I use that paper stencil just to kind of get that fire coming off those wings. Okay, so now everyone's like, oh, this is light, it's not dark. But what I'm doing is, because solvent coverages, you can do heavier pigment loads to resin, so you can get a color that you can get like a darker red or blue that covers. It's a little trickier with water-based. So what you do is you do the white. Now I'm taking my dark blue, my darkest blue, and I'm going way outside of it. And this is an illustration blue, so this is gonna cover. It's gonna start tinting the background black blue, which is what I like about water-based, where candies don't do this. Yeah, Jeff, thanks. The flood stroke is the key. Especially even doing smoke, flood stroke key, just you kind of elongate it. But this right here, that's the magic stroke. That's the one. When you get that down, everything else kind of falls into place. And it's a lot of wrist movement, and it's flicking fast. You're basically, with solvent you can do it a little bit easier, but you're riding the edge where that paint's about to blow out and spider. So basically what I do is I keep the paint thicker, especially in solvent, and I turned the pressure up a lot higher. Mike and I used to paint I still do. We always did. We always painted higher end of the spectrum. By painting higher end of the spectrum, you can run thicker paints through an airbrush and get it. So that's not the secret to Mike's success, but that's the special sauce, is getting that flood stroke. Yeah, man, it's like going back to dagger stroke practice on t-shirts. And you just learn to really just get heavy-handed with it and move. But this color here is the same color I detail with here in this. So that way I can come back in and see I can come back out and keep getting bluer. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, because this is not the darkest color. The darkest color is purple. So I'm going to purple up this color. But I haven't used candy yet. So remember, what you're doing is the wider color is your darker color. So in this case, purple and blue. And that sets up for your next level of fire, which is going to work within that. Which I almost think I got a little too tight here, but for this feed it's fine. I would keep this probably a lot looser. Yeah, so Astral, this is regular illustration blue, so it's not candy, it's a semi-transparent. I won't use candies really till the very end when I want to get color pop within the color. With solvent, I do it a little bit different. With solvent, I use candy a lot more on this stage. Water-based, the candies, you have to fight the dye a little bit. So if I go white over it, I will get a little bleed faster unless I put like kind of a check intercoat in between. So the illustration colors have almost the same pop. So I use that as in place of candy quite often, which is what I learned before water-based had candies. But in the end, the result, when it's cleared, you can't tell the difference side by side. So yeah, just regular illustration blue. For those who came late, this is pretty much the paint list. The only thing I think I'm going to add in is a 50-55 illustration violet that I'm gonna darken this cerulean blue with at this stage. So watch. Now this is all starting to get a wash out of blue. It's funny because on camera it looks a lot lighter. Here in person in the shop it's really blue. So I'm going to take that 50-50 violet. 50-55 violet. I'm going to darken this blue up. SRM Designs found it! Welcome, sir! New member, another member. Awesome. Thank you, sir. We'll give you a little... Hey. Is that my crouch here? Huh. Oh, that's how. Hold, please. Yay! There we go. SRM's in the house. Honey's got more cowbell. Alright, so yeah, now I took that color, darkened it up. So now I want to get that purple tone going. I think I need a little more. The other thing, I definitely am planning on a couple live feeds from the SEMA show floor. I'm working that out now with some of the different booths. Obviously, I won't be able to have, you know, a 4-camera switcher there. I did halfway think about bringing Kaylee because she can actually go now because she's 17. She's gonna be 18 just after the show, so she's fine to be on the show floor. But she's got too much schooling. But I thought about bringing her and doing some camera edition. But yeah, so now I'm taking that purple and making sure that my darkest color is this foundation. Okay, this is the real key. So this color, look, I can kill this one 100%. Not a big deal. These colors set up for the next. I can even come in here and I can start carving detail. But I'm really going to probably save most of that to the end. But like I can come in here with that and I can just take my pocket graphics and just hit that. Oh, Gerald, on Facebook, email me your address, please. So I can get you a set of pocket graphics. I need to get you a set. I have a set aside for you. I need your address to send it to. Yep, that all happens when you're doing flames. The only thing about doing fire, you gotta untrain yourself, is when you're doing fire or smoke, you gotta get some double backs. Some really harsh double backs, which, you know, you don't see too much in hot rod flames. We do them from time to time, but you need to get a more aggressive back and forth and less movement, because what happens to a lot of traditional flame painters who don't have a huge background in like guys who, and I did a lot of graphics, still do. People tend to, when they do fire, they get spaghetti. Almost like when people first start to do old school flames, they get spaghetti because they try to follow too much, as opposed to trying to get that nice bounce with the flames. Everyone tries to like do this, and you get spaghetti flames or lobster claws. Fire can be the same way, so you gotta, yeah, just like we do in tape to flames, you gotta loosen up. You gotta stay loose, especially those beginning stages. But see, I mean, even that on its own is really cool. It's simple fire. Now, yeah, Gerald, exactly. Like when I did automotive solvent, I would pretty much just use white and then candies. Maybe I'd put in like a blue tone. Pretty much I would just use white candy, white dark candy, white light candy. With Createx illustration colors and stuff, I like going like white to illustration, and then maybe back to illustration, like a lighter tone, then candy. And I get almost like a 3-level stack, because you have like an opaque mixed with a semi-transparent, back to a semi-opaque, to a full candy transparent. And it just looks awesome. Mike Manning. Thank you, kind sir. Appreciate the support. Between you guys and my members and everyone that helps this channel keep on moving. Keep on going. But see, now, I don't want to go back to this bright white. I can, but I'm going to kill it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to grab a regular, I got a plus in here. I'm going to go back to that daylight blue. Hey, a little full, do you see that? Damn little mosquito. Something got in there. Bastard. Serves you right. So I'm going to go to this lighter daylight blue, but I'm going to cut it with a little bit of white. Mike did this quite a bit, as opposed to almost never use white purely. Once you maybe at the very end, but the white always had like a cream color or something added to it. So now I'm working basically, let's show you what color here I'm working with. So it's basically a baby blue. So it's lighter than that dark blue. What stroke was it doing? This is coming out so pretty. Oh, cool, honey, thank you. So yeah, I want that flood stroke. That's that key. So like, so now like here's, I want, you notice my pressure's up pretty high, about 50 right now, and I want that flood stroke. And you can actually like move like this, but see if you go too much, you get a blowout. So you gotta really move. Maybe a dumb question. Can you use create text illustration colors on out? Oh yeah, yeah, I do it all the time. So this is on a metal panel. I'd say 50% of the bikes I've done in the past year that you see online, all the illustration work, all the artwork is done in Createx, not House of Color. You know, it's clear with a solvent clear for automotive. A lot of times even the base color of it is done with front crawl, brush stroke, or dagger stroke. Yeah, so a lot of times I'll base in a solvent, or we'll do obviously a solvent primer, direct to steel, because most of the water base I don't trust as far as rust inhibitors. There are a few out there. So you use an epoxy or another DTM, DTS primer surfacer, especially on aluminum, and then we'll go in to a base coat of either solvent base or a water-based base color. Let that cure out, scuff that down typically. If it's a metallic or pearl, we'll put a clear coat on top of that first, and then we'll scuff that back. And then what we'll do, let me get my face up there. And once that's done, it doesn't matter. You can base coat with solvent, you can base coat with water. Sometimes I use a mix of both, it depends on the project. And let that all cure out. And then when you're done, put your favorite clear coat on top of it, wet sand and buff, and go to town. And, you know, anyone that tells you that they can spot water-based over solvent is lying. Not today, you can't. There was a time you could. Now, the flops are the same, the color depth is the same. I can tell certain metallics and pearls, because metallics float different in a water-based carrier than they do in a solvent. Solvent, they kind of suspend mid, whereas water-based, the flakes and pearls start to float to the top. But that kind of changed in the past 5 to 10 years, because all flakes and pearls are now coated for water-based compliant. So whether it's in a solvent resin or water-based resin, the flake and pearl is manufactured the same for both, because they can go in both. So it's almost impossible to tell, unless the guy who's spraying it doesn't really spray it well, then you can tell. So yeah, it doesn't have to be, it can be either one. That being said, out of water, let's do the next phase. So the next phase of fire. Now we go, what's the rule? Loose to tight, dark to light. We are in the darker stage now. We've done the darker stage, so now we've set up to work inside that stage with a lighter variation of blue. Jonathan, my favorite clear. I still love House Colors USC01 for my final clear. The UC21 is great also. It just lays like glass and it buffs like freaking butter. Another company that was really good I've used, and it's very similar, is the new Ace of Sprays line, as well as American Icon. American Icon was done really well. There's been a few from PPG that's nice. Some Tamco stuff I used in the past was okay, was nice. I never liked the way it laid out a little for me. But I've always just loved the way House of Color lays their stuff out. And for me, it just lays like glass. So it's all good. And there's been some cheaper stuff on the market I've used that works pretty well. Some kind of like lower end clear. Not lower end, but just more... I hate the term lower end because this is really good quality stuff, but it's more like collision market versus like high end custom market. But man, TranStar has made some great clears over the years. Their Euro Classics, phenomenal. It's priced really well too, so I like that. There's some other stuff on the market, but that I've used that I'm not going to endorse or let people really endorse here. So. Can you do a clear coat between layers to create a 3D effect? Yeah, you've seen people do it, but what I see a lot of people do when they get the really deep 3D effect is they're not actually using automotive clear coat. They're using like a clear resin, and they're actually building up like a thick layer of clear resin, letting that cure out for a few days, sanding it, then putting another artwork on top, almost like bar top resin. So you're getting like a 16th to an 1/8 inch thick on there. I don't recommend that for something that's going to be like a non-show use. So if that's something people are going to drive around and use at shows a lot, it's going to probably crack and fail and sit outside. It's going to be a real big problem. But something that's going to be a showpiece, it's going to sit inside, it's going to be controlled, it's going to be in a temperature-controlled environment all the time. Yeah, you can pour thick bar top resins and all these the resin technology they've come out, especially UV cure resins. It's amazing what you can do, and you can almost get up to like some of these pours now. You can get up to like an inch thick, or there's some that go 3 or 4 inches thick, but you really couldn't use it on a bike. It'll just rough the side. Thanks. I'm not quite a master, but I've been around for a while and worked with a lot of really great guys. And experience a lot of different shit. So, yeah, you can mess around with a few different tricks. Alright, so, now I'm on here. Let's go side by side. Yeah, Jeff, I don't know they're clear, so I'm not going to endorse it here or use it or recommend it on my show. I'm talking about stuff I use. Alright, so now that I got here, I'm going to work inside. So now I start getting a little tighter, and I'm going to use this blue, but see that blue almost looks white, but it's not quite, it's not white, it's bluer, and I'm going to kind of work within and around it. I'm going to do a crossover here. And I'm going to use this part of the stencil. I'm going to back it up a little bit and just let it curve around. Marshall, thank you very much, man. I appreciate all your support. But see how everything I'm doing now is going to work within what I've already established. I'm very much not staying outside the line. I'm kind of coming off that edge. Maybe we'll come up from underneath the belly. And just keeping it really soft down here, because the fire can be a little softer down here and work within, and then it can be a little bit more sporadic up top. Loose to tight. Yeah, so Jonathan, when I'm done with this, this will go on with the batch. Let me show you what I've been working on. So usually when I do these live feeds, the end of the month or every like month and a half or so. So I did this a few weeks back. And we did this one. These are both going to Miss Honey. And we got the Canadian one that we did. That's going to London. And then this was the Eagle one we did last week. So we'll clear these in batches. And a lot of times what I'll do, I'll put an inner coat over these in a minute clear. And then I can do any touch-ups and things like that beforehand. So that'll also help get rid of any little tape edge. And then I'll go from there and build up a clear. So let's see. I think I should be able to use this and kind of put my stencil back together without cutting it. Chris Garcia, what's going on, brother? Thanks for popping in. So I can get that to stick there. And I can get this. Now I can come in here and I can kind of get that loose squiggle, rat tail, flood stroke right out of that wing. And we'll come up in here. And this is where, after I get to this stage, we'll start messing with some colors. Have you always had the cap over the needle? Yeah, I won't pull it off when I'm usually really trying to get super, super close to the surface. Mickey! What's going on, buddy? When I'm trying to get super, super close to the surface and like work off the very tip of the needle, a lot of times I'll pull the cap off. When I'm doing this stage, and I'm working so fast, trying to like build the shape, I tend not to, because that's the time I damage nozzles. Because I'm like flooding so close and I've bent so many needles, or actually scratched through gas tanks. I've actually hit them so hard with the needle, I've went through the clear coat into the metal. So but my microns, it's kind of true. My microns, I usually take them off because I work a lot closer to the surface with them. I want to get a really bright right off these wings and really just get them to work. And I'll keep some things loose here again. Some loose flood strokes. I really want to bring out this guy here. This turn, I want to get it way out. So now, see what's happening? This is where a lot of people panic. They're like, oh my god, I'm starting to like, to me it's looking contaminated because it's back to being too bright again. This is the stage where a lot of people back off too much and they kind of get scared. But this is where you got to see it through to the end. I'm either going to brighten a few things up pure white. See what the pure white does? And I'm going to go in for some detail. I'm going to over brighten some things, so I'm going to start adding some candies into here. And that's where things are going to start to wash. Now, needle gouges in the middle of a paint job suck. I did, however, figure out a nice trick for it. That's where really high quality, thick build bar top resin, UV Cure resin, comes into play. Because you can put a little primer there to seal your metal up. You want to build that thickness without like doing body filler. I fill it with fiberglass resin. And there's new bar top stuff. And that puts it right to the level of your paint job. Then you can paint right over it and you're good to go. It never comes back on you. It doesn't shrink either. There, Todd, thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank a couple new members here tonight, because I think, Todd, you just joined up today. Was it today? And then who else joined up today? SMR Designs. So I think that brings us to an official 30 members. Or maybe we one shy. Because I forget if we went into this at 27 or 28. But it's awesome. It's awesome growth. Route 22, what's going on? We got a few of you on there. Let's give you a little shout out. Hi guys! You new members will be up here next time. Anyone new? Basically, at the end, before the next week, I'll pull up the next list to make sure who's who. And get you guys on the thank you list. Cool. Alright. I'm going to hit the highlight on that eye. Man, I want this even thinner. This is where I start getting tricky, where I want the paint so damn thin that I risk blowouts like crazy. But still, we're an hour and a half, not bad. Like I said, we might be tonight, and I won't see it till a final count tomorrow, but I think we're 27, so I think we just need one more. Yeah, I learned that trick from Daryl Sargent. Because some of Daryl's paint jobs are so thick, you can't... And he had a couple splits because he literally has like 40 to 60 layers of clear and flake and product on it. That when you get something deep, you fill all the body work, it's just going to take forever. But I learned the fiberglass trick a while ago. Alright. Listen, I want to get some white. There we go. Look for that soft spray. I want to make these tips. This is where, like I said, I start setting up for that candy layer. So I want to punch some brights out right now. Daryl's works great. Me and Daryl done a lot of work together, especially that bike, his bike. So this is where I can start having some fun. I can start adding some fire and really kind of keeping it. Yeah, but I got one more layer to do. And then we're going to wrap this up. So see, it's really bright right now. I'm going to hit the shoulder, I'm going to hit this belly. Yeah, so on all the murals on Daryl's bike, like all the clown face girls, the gangster girls, and all the Jesus on the back, I did all those. He does all the graphics and all his tape outs and all the badass shit, and I come in and put little details in there. Yeah, on his bike. Yep. So like the Jesus on the back, the girls on the side, the girl in the front. That was all various lowrider artists that we worked with that. All of them we've talked to prior, so we could put that on his bike without, wasn't trying to claim it's our original work. So, and then the eyeball, the skulls, anything that was artwork related, airbrush was me. That's not Daryl's thing. Daryl was the master of the tape out the graphics, and just an amazing painter. And he's a pretty good friend. Give him credit there too. No bid, not currently. Just highlight that. Highlight the beak. Anyone remember this from Airbrush Action? It was really a long time ago. You're dating yourself. if you remember it. Alright, so candy. Let's mix some candy colors in here. I am going to actually... I got this kind of green color. That I want to throw in the mix. Warlock is always the keeper of the bids. So this is that green I made up. This is emerald green. Because I'm going to go teal and blues. And this is candies. Yeah, let me see. I gotta change the ISO on this camera. I got it up too high, and you're not really seeing what it's like. That's probably a little closer. So this is that green, and then I got Tealicious. I'm gonna go with the Tealicious and cut back over with blue. And then remember, it's purple and blue out here. So we can get a little bit on the wing. This is a throwback to the original. And what I'm gonna do when I'm done with this, I'm gonna put a little ice, some blue and green sparkle-escent pearl over the top of this. So that's the green. Now I'll put Tealicious in there. Remember, these are the colors. I got Teal. Oh yeah, Tealicious is 4666. But now that's going to bring that green and the blue together. It's really hard to tell when it's matte, because when you clear this, it just pops. So crazy. Now I'm going to go back to my blue. Yep. That one bike you went crazy with the colors on. And we got honey in on a bid. Actually, we're going to call it 170 funny because you did the 20 earlier. So let's call it 170. It would have to be over 170 to overtake. Honey's trying to ramp up the collection. So, like, I'm really trying to wish I could get the... It's always a thing about blues. You should really adjust the camera better for it. It's a lot easier to do it in post-production than live. But like this green, like there's a lot of green here. But it's really hard to see it. And this is honestly, so some people complain that water-based bleeds. And yes, it does. And you can utilize that bleed when you want it. And this is where I use dissimilar materials, because if I don't want it to bleed, when I'm using water-based candies, and I don't want it to bleed, I can go with white House of Color, and it's fine. When I'm using House of Color candies, and sometimes over-reduced white bleeds, because it reactivates the orange and red candies underneath, I'll use Createx white. The dissimilar materials still bond and bite, but they won't react with each other. So, there's a time and a place to play with lots of different products. This is always more than one answer. That's why people that stay with only one, because they're afraid of something else, you don't know what you're missing. I do. So I'm actually using the bleed right now to my advantage. If I didn't want it to bleed, nobody beats Gary's bouquet collection. There's some contenders. But Gary's up there. Gary's in the top. I got some collectors of some of the bigger paintings. But Gary owns the most live feeds. By far. Probably the most of Mike's too. So I'm in good company. But see, so now I'm utilizing that. I'm doing that glow. And technically, the owner of the biggest collection is my wife, because there's a lot of paintings in this house. Alright. We're good. Let's get some glow. Some glow going here around the wings. Yeah, I needed that. Needed that hot. This one, you'll be at 8. Yeah, you're up there. You're up there in the elite class, honey. Yeah, I want that nice, bright collection. Now, if I want to stop the bleed at any time, which I'm working with it, I'm letting those kind of melt. I can put a little 40-50 on the top of it and lock it down and then work it. It's like putting intercoat of House of Color or another brand's. Dropping brushes. Dropping brushes. The overhead camera almost looks like a glow under the wings. Yeah, and that's kind of what it looks like in person. That's kind of got the better angle because it's a straight down. That's what I wanted. I want that lift. I want that fire to lift it up. And these are ones where I'll probably, like I said, I'm definitely going to go with some pearls on the outside after the fact. I just don't want to... I don't like spraying metallics and pearls here in the studio. Oh, man, practically missed it. Sorry, man. I don't like spraying like metallics and pearl sparkle acid up in here in the studios. It's too much on the cameras. I don't want to get all the flake flying. So I usually save all that for later. As this channel grows and I get more supporters, more members, I am going to start building another rig because I have a lot of extra pieces from leftover stuff from this rig. out in the shop, where I can, just, from time to time go out there and bring a camera out there, and I can put a cover over the lenses, and I can do some more automotive shop related type paintings, which I think will be fun. But I'm just gonna build the channel. Thanks, Jeff. Alright. So now I'm going to mix some blue and black together, and I'm going to hit some final darks. And we are going to call this piece done. So look, now I can come under here. So I can darken right under that and just really pull that out. Yeah, I thought. I love Hot Rod Sparkle. It's killer. That's usually what I use on a lot of these. And I like this Sparklescent Pearl as well. It's killer stuff. So I'm going to cut my paper stencil. So I got this little guy here. I can come in and I can do some little wing detail. See, just in there, I can kind of pull out that wing. Now I can take this and I can separate that from the underbelly. See how that's carving? And I'm using the blue with some black. Oh yeah, honey, I want to see what you guys do with this. You guys who download this stuff, don't be afraid to ask questions, man. Especially you members. You're supporting me. I'm there to help you guys as well. So reach out if you got any questions on like how you achieve something, if you want me to look at something you're stuck at. I'm always willing to lend a hand. Especially to those who support me. Those who don't support me, you freeloaders, I'll give you a little now and again, but other than that, I know who you are. See, paper. You don't need to replot it. I could re-stick it, but see what that little bit did? From my screen appears. Yeah, it's got a little bit, but here, like this area is a lot, a little less stringy in person than it looks here. This is definitely one. Almost every real fire one, I always clear it first to see what it looks like. Buffalo's. Nope, never done a buffalo skull. Done plenty of skulls with real fire and animal skulls. Eagle skulls. Never a buffalo skull. That could be a cool one for a future. I'm going to tone that blue in. And we'll hit some final things. Like right here, I want to get that glowing together. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit more. Get the fire up there. Oh, so Robert, when you go to the store, in the membership section, there's a code. It's a discount code. If you can't find it, you can message me privately on Facebook or whatever if you have a problem with it. And at the checkout, you put that code in there, and the Sparrow's free for all members. And that is there's a link in the description on where to go for that. Are you going to bring the yellow? No, the yellow candy was mixed with the emerald green at the beginning. And that was to make that kind of teal color we used. That was to use this green. And yeah, I'm going to play around with some more. We'll tone out with some more blue, some more fire. Do some hot spots. You know, like here. We'll do a little daggers and kind of magic. I think Honey would like that, yeah? Almost looks martial artistry. Thank you, sir. I believe that brings us to a 30. Yeah, we'll give that the old... I'm pretty sure we're there. Yeah, Rob, if you have any issues, get me on Instagram or anything, and I'll give you the code. But, yep. You put these just little kind of star. And I like doing this lately, and it's really risky, but I like doing the trigger pull and a little controlled splatter. Like that. Oh, yeah. Gerald, you still on here? This is something I learned from Gerald, which is also scary. Okay, there's almost no pressure on this. And, I'm potentially going to ruin it, and Honey won't have to pay me. But I learned this from watching Gerald. And it's little trigger pulls with little teeny specks in there like that. And it almost makes like the wings, like the magic coming out of them. Yeah, I think that's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. This is like putting a pound of pressure. Except you. I want you. There we go. So it's like that, those wings, that energy coming off them. I'm really digging that flow. Move the dark down here. We're going to put some flaky flake around there. We're going to sign this. No more bids. This is going to Honey. Right? Honey is still. I think we're at 30 members. It's awesome. That's looking pretty cool. You can see the kind of color swap. Oh, you know, maybe I'll put a little chameleon flop over it. A little teal blue. I'm going to mess around with it. I'm going to clear it. We'll add a little thing. Exactly. You can't even get a membership for less. I mean, it's true. You can't get a coffee for less than that. And I give you lots of stuff. So remember, all you guys who want to become members, thank you for everyone who is in there. That's all you guys. What that really does, what that helps with, obviously it gives you 10% off anything in the store. It gives you 10% off merch, t-shirts, hats, all that fun stuff as well. But it gives you some free downloads like this one. And that's going to happen more often from time to time. There's going to be some more tiers down the road that are going to get more stuff. But that little bit of money doesn't seem like much, but it kind of takes the edge off the hours of prep ahead of time, the little things ahead of time that I do to go into these feeds. Yes, it's a 2-hour live feed, but this feed, and I didn't have this prepped because some of you guys, and Gary missed it earlier, this afternoon I finished up the Eagle, and I just did that as an impromptu. That was an overtime feed. At that point, I had no idea what I was going to do. I cleaned up that, finished what was going on, did stuff at the shop, had to run some errands, came back. I pulled this vector out at 4:45. So 4:45 is the time I started this project, and then we did the vectors, did the downloads, made, the title screen, made the ad screens, did the downloads, did the text, prepped the panel, cut the panel, mix the paint, strain the paint, do the paint list. All that stuff happens ahead of time. So that happens when I'm off camera. And then we can obviously turn the cameras on, check everything, make sure everything's... So a lot goes into the feed. So these feeds are about 3 to 5 hours, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to do one. So all that little support, the super chats, the $10 here, the $5 super chats, all that is really appreciated. The memberships is appreciated. It helps this channel grow. And I want to grow this even bigger and bigger and better with you guys along the way and help shape it. So thank you for all the support. And I love the feed. Yeah, I'm going to start doing more daytime feeds. I need to pull a little bit more like Leahy and do a bunch of short feeds here and there. I just got to do it. Half of me is like, oh, when I do the feed, I got to do it really intricate, do all this stuff ahead of time. And I really don't, especially the quick ones. I need to just do some quick ones where I just jump on and it's not all fancy. And it's just like the cameras and that's it. But that is all going to go with your support. So the more you guys support me, the more I'll throw at you. I want you all to have a great, happy, healthy, and safe weekend. Don't get too drunk, or don't do anything too stupid. Say hi to your family. I'll catch you all next week, and come up with something new to paint. And we're going to get closer to SEMA and start previewing what I got planned for that, and start sharing everything, because I'm going to be with all these lovely people at SEMA. And, Visionaire. We got some Visionaire stuff coming up this winter. Me and Del have been chatting. So, got some stuff to show you. So, honey, thank you. Awesome. And thank you everyone who participated. And I will talk to you all soon. Have an awesome week. Share this with your friends. Get more members to join up. And we will get this thing growing. See ya.